Tutorial 5, modelling the spigot. Now, when we model the spigot, we're going to be creating something that attaches to the balloon. It's going to be a set size. We don't need to change these settings at all. And we're going to be working through making that spigot the exact sizes that we see here. The only difference being that your thread depth, so the depth of the thread below the main part of the spigot, will be up to or depending on the size of the hole that you modeled your spigot to be. So I'm actually going to assume for this one that 10 mils is how deep you've gone. Yours could be less or more than that. So we're going to model it on 10 mils, but these are the definitions or dimensions that we're going to use in order to model our particular spigot. And I'll show you which one you have to change in order to match yours when we go through. So here we are in Fusion 360 looking at our balloon car, and the depth we need before we go too much further is going to be the spigot thread depth, and that's going to be the size of this hole here. And usually I created a pipe here in the history, and then I created a sketch, which is the top circle of the spigot hole, and then I extruded down, and that's the one I need to get. So I'm going to double click onto that, and I'm going to see it's 6 millimeters down. So when it gets time to doing the thread size, it's going to be 6 millimeters down. I'm going to hit cancel on this. I'm going to create a new sketch now, and I'm going to create the sketch on, let's just use that plane there. If you can't get to that plane, you can always turn the chassis off and then click on that plane, and then we can turn our chassis back on, and we're going to draw our sketch for our spigot somewhere over here. Doesn't matter exactly where, but we're going to draw out the rough shape of the spigot. But we're going to do it into, if you imagine we cut the spigot in half and then we do a quarter. So let's just do that now. So the spigot is going to be a line down here like so. That's going to be the middle of the tube of the spigot. And then we're going to go out about this far, making sure we don't press on that plus. So we'll just go out about that far. We'll go up here. We're going to go out here like so. It's going to go up at an angle. Then it's going to have a bit of a rectangular section going across to there. So that's my spigot. Just let's make sure that we get that is definitely vertical. Got an error there, so that's fine. So these are the sizes that we're going to do. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to draw another line, and it's going to be a line type construction tool, and it's going to go down here like so. And that is going to be our rotation that we're going to rotate around. So my spigot is going to be from sketch dimensions. This point here to this point here is going to be 10 millimeters. So you can see all of a sudden that's not going to work for me. So I'm going to press Ctrl Z just to leave it at 13. And I'm going to set all my dimensions first. I'm going to set this dimension here. Press enter. I'm going to set the dimension from this point here to the point here of this one here, like so. Press enter. I'm also going to set this angle between here and here, and I'm going to press enter. I'm going to press this distance here, enter, and the distance between this point here and this point here is going to be an important one as well. I'm also going to set some chamfers or some fillets on here, but I won't do those yet. The one thing I'd also need to know is that the distance of the internal hole I decided was going to be 6 millimeters. So we'll go there. That will be the distance there. So that'll be all the distances I need to set. Now I'm going to press escape. Now I'm going to start double clicking on these dimensions and setting them as I go around. So that's going to be a 3 millimeter hole from there to there. This one here is going to be a total of 12 millimeters out. So I'm going to go from there to there is going to be 6. I'm then going to use the dimension of this one here. Remember that was 6. That's my spigot hole depth. That's an important one. I'm going to use this dimension here on my plan. It's going to be 15 millimeters. That's not good. So I'm going to press Ctrl Z on that. I'm going to then have to think about how that's going to go. I do need a dimension from here, this point here, to this point here. I'll bring it right down here, and that is going to be 8 millimeters. Okay, that's going to set it now. So I'm going to now double click onto this one here and set that to 85. Sorry about that alarm there for a second. This one here, this distance from here to here, I'm going to press escape and delete that. That's why I had problems before. That distance from there to there needs to be this distance from here to here in a horizontal direction of 15. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in this one here is going to be half of 20, so it's going to be 10. This one here was a height of 6, and that's looking like the quarter of my spigot. I'm going to press escape. I'm going to just grab this guy and drag it over here so it's out of my way. So I've got that looking okay. That looks like a quarter of my spigot. This might seem a complicated way of doing things, but this is how we do it. And now I'm going to use the fillet tool. I'm going to click on this one here and this one here. And that is going to set radiuses of 2, which is going to be a diameter of 4, which matches my design as well. And that should be good. I think that's done. One thing, this might tidy this up. I might just make this horizontally in line with that, and this horizontally in line with that. So now if I hit finish sketch, you'll see that I've got sort of a part of the shape of the spigot. And now if I go create, or if I go revolve, I'm going to choose that as my profile, and I'm going to select my axis, which is going to be this one here, and you'll see that it's drawn the spigot with the hole down the middle, and press OK, and that is what I was going for. And now I'm going to then create my thread on here. It's going to be modeled, and press OK. Now I want to make it black, so I'm going to move this over here so I can see it, and press the appearance button, A for appearance. It's over here. And I'm just going to make it the same black glossy plastic. Hit close on that one. Now it's time to move it. So I'm going to use the move point to point tool. So I'm going to select this body here, but I'm going to select a point. So the point I'm going to select is that one there, which is the middle point of that circle. And the target I'm going to select is a bit hard to get. It's a bit funny there. So let's now move that in place. I press OK to accept that move. Now I'm going to move it to the right, and I'm going to use the move in a translate section, and I'm just going to move it down. Should be 6 mil. That's got it perfect. So now that's okay. That's in place. That is my spigot modeled and put in place.